Jacob crossed into the eastern lands of Haran with nothing but the clothes on his back. Fleeing a deadly family feud, he arrived at the doorstep of his uncle, Laban, seeking a safe haven. He quickly fell for his younger cousin, Rachel. Having no wealth to offer as a standard bride price, Jacob made a staggering proposal. He would work 7 full years of manual labor to earn her hand in marriage. Those years were not easy. He tended flocks through scorching heat during the day and freezing frost at night, bearing the full physical cost of the agreement. Yet because of his deep attachment to Rachel, the biblical account notes those 7 years felt to him like only a few days. Focused entirely on his future wife, he completely missed his uncle's manipulative nature. The morning after the wedding feast, daylight revealed a stunning betrayal. Under the cover of darkness, Laban had brought his older daughter, Leah, into the tent instead of Rachel. When Jacob confronted him, Laban calmly cited a local technicality. He claimed the customs of their land explicitly forbade giving away a younger daughter before the firstborn. Laban then offered a new arrangement. Jacob could marry Rachel immediately after Leah's bridal week concluded, but only if he committed to another 7 years of hard labor. Stuck in a foreign land with no leverage, Jacob agreed. 14 years of indentured servitude now stretched ahead of him under a man who viewed him entirely as an economic asset. The resulting household was deeply fractured. Jacob openly favored Rachel, but she was entirely unable to have children. Meanwhile, the neglected Leah quickly gave birth to 4 sons. This imbalance triggered a bitter rivalry for Jacob's attention. Desperate to gain the upper hand, both sisters eventually offered their personal servants, Bilhah and Zilpah, to Jacob as surrogates to bear children. The dysfunction reached a point where physical intimacy became an explicitly traded commodity. During the wheat harvest, Leah literally purchased a night in Jacob's tent by bartering with Rachel. The currency for this transaction was a handful of mandrakes. In the ancient Near East, the roots and fruits of the mandrake plant were highly valued, widely believed to boost human fertility. Laban's initial lie had created a deeply unstable environment. Every birth and every interaction was now treated as a bargaining chip in a continuous, zero-sum domestic war. When his 14 years of service ended, Jacob asked to take his family and return home. Laban pleaded with him to stay, having realized that his own massive increase in livestock and wealth was a direct result of Jacob's management. Jacob agreed to stay, but set a very specific price. He asked to keep only the off-color animals, specifically the speckled, the uniquely spotted, and dark-colored sheep, leaving all the solid-colored animals to Laban. This animated diagram shows Jacob's unusual animal husbandry strategy. He took fresh branches of poplar, almond, and plane trees, peeled white stripes into them, and placed them in the watering troughs. He placed them there only when the strongest animals mated. This chart shows the population shift over 6 years. The strong flocks produced speckled offspring for Jacob, leaving Laban with weaker, solid-colored animals. Over a total of 20 years, Jacob managed to systematically extract Laban's wealth. He commanded immense herds and a massive staff, effectively becoming a direct, powerful economic rival to his own uncle. The tension eventually boiled over. Laban's sons began openly accusing Jacob of stealing their father's wealth, and Laban's own attitude turned noticeably hostile. Prompted by a divine command, Jacob decided to flee. While Laban was away shearing sheep, Jacob launched an immediate evacuation. They hastily loaded his wives, children, and their vast accumulated wealth onto camels, slipping away into the desert under the cover of night. But right before they left, Rachel introduced a massive complication. Without telling Jacob, she snuck into her father's tent and stole his household idols. These stolen objects were physical artifacts, often taking the form of small clay figurines like these ancient examples. Such idols were believed to offer spiritual protection and frequently signified family inheritance rights. Stealing them was a heavy offense. Jacob was leading a high-stakes escape, moving stolen property across a hostile desert. It took 3 days for Laban to realize they were gone. He gathered a posse of his relatives and pursued Jacob's slow-moving caravan for 7 exhausting days, finally cornering them in the mountainous region of Gilead. During the ensuing standoff, Jacob finally released 2 decades of pent-up anger. He publicly berated Laban, detailing the 20 years he spent consumed by daytime heat and nighttime frost, and called out Laban for changing his wages 10 separate times. Laban had the manpower to take everything back by force, but a severe warning from God in a dream the night before stopped him from attacking. Instead, the two men gathered a heap of stones to serve as a strict physical border treaty, swearing never to cross it to harm one another. Laban returned to Haran, and Jacob continued south. The terrified fugitive who crossed the river with empty pockets 20 years earlier had survived an intense psychological and economic crucible. He emerged as a hardened, incredibly wealthy leader, ready to face his homeland.